সুপ্রিয় দর্শক সবাইকে স্বাগত জানাচ্ছি টিভিএন 24 টেলিভিশন আয়োজিত নিয়মিত অনুষ্ঠান টিভিএন অ্যানালিসিস। আমি হাবিব রহমান আছি আপনাদের সাথে। আশা করি আপনারা যারা সরাসরি দেখছেন, যারা রোজা রেখে দেখছেন, যারা নিউ ইয়র্কে আছেন অথবা ইস্ট কোস্টে আছেন বা ওয়েস্ট কোস্টে আছেন, সবাই ভালো আছেন, সুস্থ আছেন, নিরাপদে আছেন। আজকের অনুষ্ঠানটি, আজকে টিভিএন অ্যানালিসিস যারা দেখবেন, আমি মনে করি আপনাদের অনেকের জন্য ঈদের আগে একটি ভালো সুখবর আছে। হ্যাপি নিউজ রাইট বিফোর ঈদ। We are able to bring it to you. সত্যিকার অর্থে, এবং আপনারা যারা শুনছেন দেখছেন, যারা ট্যাক্স ফাইল করেও ফেলেছেন, তাদের সবার জন্য ভালো খবর আছে। আমরা ভেঙে বলবো এবং প্রথমে জানিয়ে রাখতে চাই, যদি আপনার নেট ইনকাম 2020 সাল এবং 21 সালে 52,000 হয়ে থাকে, আপনি IRS এর কাছ থেকে $32,000 পেতে পারেন। সেটা কীভাবে, সেটা ভেঙে বলবো। কারা এটা কী জিনিস সেটাও তুলে ধরবো, কারা কোয়ালিফাই করেন সেটাও তুলে ধরবো, কীভাবে কোয়ালিফাই করতে হয় সেটার একটি সম্ভাবনা আমরা তুলে ধরবো। এই সমস্ত থাকবে এবং এই প্রতিটি জিনিস ভেঙে আলোচনা করার জন্য আজকে আমার সাথে স্টুডিওতে আছেন মাইকেল মোতাজদি। As usual, we always try to bring some excitement,
of course,
with this boring IRS news. Every time it's like, oh man, how many topics can you talk about the IRS? We have many topics to talk about.
Absolutely.
Right.
Thanks.
So without further ado, but there are some things changing that's taking effect or took effect already in January 20 this year, 2024. And you told me that this is something really, really important. Every business owner should pay attention to. So, and it's called BOI. Mm-hmm. So let's just start. What is BOI? Why does it matter? What are the consequences? And how we all can be prepared for this?
So the BOI is basically what they call FinCEN. That's basically financial crimes, right? But they're making all the small business owners basically say, hey, this is who owns my company and this is who controls my company. And look, the real problem and why it matters is if you don't do it by the deadline, they can charge you $500 a day just for missing the deadline.
Okay. So what is it? You just explained what it is.
What it is you're just saying, hey, listen, this is the person that controls this company. This is someone who has over 25% of the stake in the company, right? There's many different reporting requirements.
So you and I, we have a company. Mm-hmm. We open up a company XYZ. And you have 25% ownership. I have 25% ownership. That's a stake, right? In the
That's
company.
Correct.
And in the past, no issues. What changed on 2024, January 1st?
Well, the real thing is it's the companies that got basically opened up or founded January 2nd, 2024,
right.
This year. So they got even another requirement. One, they only have 90 days. Our deadline is the end of this month, which we're talking about 2 days.
Right.
We have to do this. So it's really important. Right, we made a list of all the companies I opened at my office.
Right.
So we want to make sure we spend a ton of money being able to e-file because we don't have the time we wish we did.
So why does it matter?
You want to pay $500 a day?
Explain.
Right. So if you don't do it, you say, I don't care about it.
Yeah.
Right.
That's how it
exactly. We don't know how they're going to enforce it, but right now they're allowed to charge you $500 a day
for
just not doing it.
Just not doing what? Filing tax properly?
No, doing this beneficial ownership.
Okay, so where people go to do these things?
Look,
or do they come to you?
They
if
can
they have
obviously
questions?
come to me. As I said, we put a lot of effort into this. We don't want anybody getting jammed up. We're here to help you. So let's go through who's exempt. Let's start who has to do it and who doesn't have to do it.
People who have to do it?
And people who don't have to. Let's start with that.
Let's go.
Right? If you're regulated, say you're an insurance broker, a real estate agent, if you're regulated by like a state agency, you're exempt. You don't have to do this, right? Myself, right? My company is exempt because we're regulated by New York State, right? Also, if you're an inactive entity, you also don't have to do this. Okay. But there's requirements to be inactive.
Yeah.
There's 6 requirements, right? So one, obviously, in the last 12 months, you can't have a change of ownership. You also had to open this company before 2020 January, okay? Which not everyone has, right? So that's going to knock a lot of people out of that, right? Then you have all these other stuff. You can't make more than $1,000. You can't have a foreign person own the company. Everything is really important and it's very technical.
Okay, so just to throw an example, if I'm an Uber driver or Lyft driver, I have LLC I opened up in January 1st, 2024. How does it affect me?
Unfortunately.
Real example.
Real example, we have no choice. All our medallion owners, right? We have to file this thing. Okay?
The BOI.
The BOI.
You have to file it. You've been saying it. Now, what is the consequence of not filing it?
$500 of penalty per day.
Per day. Okay. So just by filing it, you can just take care of that part.
Easy sleep at night.
Okay.
It's done.
So
it's not going to hurt you.
Yeah.
It's not going to hurt you. It's not help. The only thing that's helping you is not getting penalized.
Right. So আপনারা যারা অনুষ্ঠানটি দেখছেন, আপনার যদি একটা কর্পোরেশন থাকে এবং আপনি 25%-এর বেশি ওন করে থাকেন বা 25%, আপনাকে BOI রিপোর্টিং ফাইল করতেই হবে। যদি ফাইল না করে থাকেন, এভরি ডে the BOI will charge you $500, $500 করে আপনাকে জরিমানা গুনতে হবে। So এটির একটি অন্য why they are doing this? What do they want to make sure?
Because it's financial crimes. They want to see who owns these companies, right? If you look at all the Florida real estate, right, in Miami, really it's all coming from Cuba, right?
Of course.
All that money. They want to figure out who owns this stuff. They want to find out if there's any foreign entities. This is just regular financial crimes. It's the same division. If you put more than, say, $10,000 of cash in the bank, it's the same exact government division.
Okay. So basically, they want to catch the big fishes. Unfortunately, all the small fishes are also in the net.
That's correct. And the ones that opened up in January 2nd, 2024, they have multiple, they even have the worst requirements. Aside from telling someone who owns this company, who controls this company, you also have to do what they call company requirements, where you say, okay, you have two people, right? The person who filed to open the company, which is probably either an accountant, CPA, right? As well as the person who directed that filing, right? Whose company is this?
Right.
So there's one extra requirement, which is telling them who the direct filing is.
Correct. All right. So how to prepare for this?
So look, if you opened up your company in 2024, look, either call my office, call someone that knows what they're doing, because timing is not on your side. And look, I don't want to see anyone get penalized on this stuff. This is easy stuff, you know. It really should be easy to take care of.
Right. So if I were to come to you today, say, hey, I don't know nothing about BOI. I just opened up a company that happened to open on January 10th of this year. It's not dormant, it's active. However, I haven't made any money. I haven't done anything. What do I do?
So look, I'll tell you, come in with your papers, come in with your filing receipt, because that will just solve the whole requirement with the company people, right?
Right.
Then obviously it's your company. You'll tell me how much, what percentage you have.
Right.
And we're going to file it for you, and we're going to keep you safe.
So, আপনারা যারা শুনছেন, whoever is listening, things যেটা আমরা আগে করছিলাম, today I own 10%, tomorrow I own 35%, the other day I own 0% because I want to evade taxes, আমি ট্যাক্স দিতে চাই না। এই যে গেম, this is going to get tougher. This is the bad news. How the BOI requirement, it's a must. এটা করতে হবে। But এটি কিন্তু আরেকটা, it's doing another thing. It's putting pressure on you to be structured, to be organized, to be very thoughtful and do accounting in a right way. যার জন্য আমার মনে হয় it's something very new. If you have any questions, you can reach out to আপনারা যারা অনুষ্ঠানটি দেখছেন, অনুষ্ঠানের মাঝখানে কমার্শিয়াল চলবে, মাইকেল মোজাদ্দিদি, or any good CPA. You can reach out to him, or you could reach out to just make sure any CPA you're reaching out, he understand BOI. It's very important. I don't think we talked about this. I have, even in any of our programs, we have talked about BOI. So it's there. It's been there for some time now, but not too many people had paid attention.
Oh, because the deadline wasn't coming up. But look.
Want healthier relationships, healthier gatherings, healthier workouts? Stay up to date on your vaccines. When you're vaccinated against the flu and COVID-19, you're protecting yourself and others from serious illness. That makes everything you do healthier. So don't wait. Set a date. Get your flu and COVID shots and have healthier meals, healthier hugs, healthier parties, healthier travel. Learn more at nj.gov/health/vaccines.
Since the deadline's so close, look, anyone you do speak to, make sure they can e-file. If they can't e-file, it's not going to happen.
Yeah, if you don't e-file,
it's not going to happen. We have 2 days.
Oh, well, that's the most important part. I just you've been telling me, but I'm just missing it.
Yeah.
So, what's the deadline? For this year, whoever opened up this year.
month, end of the month.
End of the month. Today is 29th. So you have like 2 days
That's
left.
what I'm saying.
আপনারা যারা এই বছর কোনো কর্পোরেশন ওপেন করেছেন, খুলেছেন, অ্যাক্টিভ আছেন, কাজ করছেন, আপনাদের সবার জন্য থাকবে 2টি দিন, 2 days। এর 2 দিনের মধ্যে বিওআই ফাইল করতে হবে, তেমন কিছুই লাগে না, বাট বিওআই রিকোয়ারমেন্টটা আপনাকে ফাইল করতে হবে। ইফ ইউ ডোন্ট ডু ইট, যদি সেটা না হয়, প্রতিদিনের জন্য $500 করে আপনাকে জরিমানা করা হবে। আই হোপ উই কনক্লুডেড দিস পার্ট ওয়েল এনাফ।
I think so too.
Anything else?
No. I just want everyone to be noticing what's going on.
Okay, so these are the. It's not a bad news. It's not a good news, but it's not a bad news. It's something new that যদি ফলো না করে থাকেন, আপনাকে প্রতিদিনের জন্য $500 করে চার্জ করা হবে। স্পেশালি এবং এটার বেশ কিছু কথা শুনলেন আপনি, এক্সক্লুশন আছে, কারা এটার মধ্যে পড়ে না, কারার মধ্যে এটা পড়ে। আরও অনেক প্রশ্ন থাকলে জানাবেন আমাদেরকে। I want to go to the. Oh,
Okay, wait. One more thing.
One more thing.
I'm gonna
If you order
okay. No.
No, okay.
No. Listen, it's not just. I want everyone to be aware of. It's not just if you own the company. If you're the CFO or your CEO or you have some type of control,
Right.
That you're a key person, you need to go to someone who knows what they're doing because. You have to put your name in there.
Okay.
So I don't want anyone to just worry about that.
What Michael just said, Michael যেটি বলেছে, আমি যে ক্লারিফিকেশন করতে চাই, এটা হচ্ছে যে আমি বলেছিলাম যে if you have a stake in the company, like 25%, 20%, or whatever percent.
No, if you're just
not necessarily.
Just control.
আপনি যদি সিইও হয়ে থাকেন এই কোম্পানির, আপনি যদি সিইও হয়ে থাকেন, সিএফও হয়ে থাকেন, তার মানে আপনার খুব গুরুত্বপূর্ণ দায়িত্ব আছে এই কোম্পানিতে। আপনাকেও ধরা হবে একজন স্টেক হোল্ডার হিসেবে। তখন ওইটিও ডিসক্লোজ করতে হবে যে এই কোম্পানি আসলে সিইও কে, who's the owner and founder. সব কিছু ডিসক্লোজ করতে হবে। So
yeah, I just want to say there's other things
No. This is very important. So something new. আপনাকে বসতে হবে সিপিএ এর কাছে, ভালো একজন সিপিএ এর সাথে আপনাকে বসতে হবে। I just wanted to tell you, a good CPA can help you on these things, and especially the one who knows it very well. You know, you can go to anywhere. You can go to Michael. It's up to you. However, the most exciting part of today's discussion.
Okay, I'm ready.
I'm not sure why I'm excited. I'm not making money, but when people make money, it excites me. You know, it's like a bloodbath out there kind of thing. You know, I think it's a wrong term, but but let's say let's do it. আপনারা এখন যেটি শুনবেন সেটি হচ্ছে SECT Tax Audit 2024. Very interesting, কারণ আপনি হয়তো $32,000 বানিয়ে ফেলতে পারেন এই সুযোগে। So let's listen to it. What is SECT Tax Credit 2024? And then we'll go to other questions.
Okay, no, that's fine. Look, again, nobody really knows how this is going to go.
Right.
Because you're basically amending your tax return, and it's going to take quite a few months to figure out what's going to happen with this, right? Everyone's got these letters in the mail. Look, we don't know. I'm even nervous when it comes to this stuff. They're going to ask certain questions. So let's talk about what it is, and then who it's for, and then let's just dig in that way.
Okay. So that's fine. You wanted to add something else, or
no? I'm saying so. Let's go through that.
It's something I did not hear from anybody else. I'm hearing from you. It's totally brand new to me, to be honest with you. Who qualifies for this, and why?
Look, for all the drivers, all my drivers, look, do you qualify? Yes, because you are self-employed, you have a trade or business, but it's not just for, say, Uber, Lyft. It's any type of trade or business, right? They qualify, right? That's definitely true, right? Then the next thing you got to look at is, hey, listen, how did you do in 2020? Obviously not that very well.
Right.
And 21, right?
Yeah.
That's where the money's sitting, right?
Yeah, you're talking about
so basically
pandemic.
what you're doing is you're basically getting a tax credit on your tax returns from those years.
Correct.
Okay? It's not very clear on what the kind of questions they're going to ask, but you had to experience COVID, and it's very complicated. Very complicated. Right. In certain sections, you got to know what you're doing.
Okay.
Okay? You got to look down the road, basically, and figure out how's it going to affect you this way and this way, right? Because if they come back and ask questions, you got to be prepared.
Okay. But if you answer those questions right, and I really mean right, or just
100% right.
100% right, then the $32,000 waiting for you?
It depends on the net income.
Explain.
So let's go back to Uber and Lyft,
yes,
right?
Of course.
All make over 100,000 gross,
right.
but after commissions and all the other stuff we write off, right? Most of the time, net income's like say 30,000.
Or
Let's just say
20,000.
Correct.
In extreme cases.
Right.
Yeah.
So obviously, you're not getting that 32,000.
Right.
Okay, you're just not. But as you and I discussed, listen, people who are going to take advantage of this are people who bought their homes during that year. Why? Because you push your tax file up to get that house. So you
show the
have that net income.
Okay, so let me bring one. Sounds crazy, but let's explain for layman's term.
Okay.
Okay, so let's make believe I'm an Uber driver. Usually I file taxes, and I make sure my gross is 120, 130, 150. But when I file my taxes, I make sure it's in 30K.
Correct.
That's me. That's a regular Joe.
That's correct.
Everyday's guy who's
Yes.
doing it for the last 3 years. Last year, I did the same thing. However, the only thing changed last year is I bought a house.
Not last year. 2020, 2021.
Okay, so 20 and 2021.
Whoever bought a house.
Not in 2023, not 2022.
2022,
Right.
20 and 21.
Okay, so আপনারা যারা বাড়ি ক্রয় করেছেন 2020 সালে এবং 2021 সালে, ইভেন ওই সময় যখন আপনি ট্যাক্স ফাইল করেছেন এবং আপনার ট্যাক্স ফাইলিংটা হয়েছে 20,000 বা 30,000, 40,000, আন্ডার 50,000, ডাজন্ট ম্যাটার, যদি আপনি বাড়ি ক্রয় করে থাকেন, সো ইউ বট দ্য হাউস, নাও হোয়াট?
Now you pushed up your income, right? You didn't write off all those deductions on the car washes and everything else, right? So you have this big fat tax file that you
Right.
probably have a monthly payment you're paying every
Of
month
course.
till whenever it's over, right? To
Right.
get that mortgage.
Correct.
Right? Those are the people that are going to see the real money.
Okay, so anybody...
Right? So if normally you're 30 and you're like, oh my God, I need to push it up to 60 that year, right?
Yeah.
Well, you could see some real money out of that.
Right.
Because
So-
your net income is this big.
Okay, now let me ask you this. We are sitting on 2024, right? And we're talking about 2020 and 2021. So that means a direct amendment
It is.
for those 2 years?
Correct.
Okay, and the other question is going to be, what if I have done other things, other deductions and stuff like that?
Right. So
How
let's
does it
assume
work out?
the average person is 30,000.
Okay,
Let's just
fine.
do that, right? Right. So so you're not going to see. You're probably going to see $5,000 in all reality.
I actually wanted to know that part. So we're going to have a breakdown of somewhat approximate breakdown of if you don't get 32,000, what do you get?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's
so
like
let's go.
it's between 4,000 and 5,000, I would say, on average.
Yeah. So
You could do 2 years and get that 10, right? But
Right.
now you're saying I covered here, and look, what's the chance of that?
Yeah, very low.
Right. So you have to fill this out correctly with the correct dates that make sense.
Okay, so I have more questions on this.
Go
I'm going to
ahead.
stay on this topic for some times, okay? Meaning, how much can you get? How does it work? And are there any risks? These are very important
A lot of
questions,
risk.
but it's time for us to take a break. Right after the break, we'll discuss all those things. দর্শক আপনারা যাবেন না কোথাও, বিরতি নিচ্ছি। Big topic, কিভাবে আপনি up to $32,000 ইনকাম করতে পারেন if you bought a house in 2020 or 2021, এই দুটি বছর 20 এবং 21 সালে। এটার সাথে কিভাবে পেতে পারেন, কিভাবে এটি কাজ করে এবং এর সাথে কোনো রিস্ক জড়িত আছে কিনা, এই আলোচনা হবে বিরতির পর। নিচ্ছি ছোট্ট একটি বিরতি।
Want healthier relationships, healthier gatherings, healthier workouts? Stay up to date on your vaccines. When you're vaccinated against the flu and COVID-19, you're protecting yourself and others from serious illness. That makes everything you do healthier. So don't wait. Set a date. Get your flu and COVID shots and have healthier meals, healthier hugs, healthier parties, healthier travel. Learn more at nj.gov/health/vaccines.
বিরতির পর পুনরায় স্বাগত জানাচ্ছি টিভি অ্যানালাইসিস অনুষ্ঠানে। আমি হাবিব রহমান আছি আপনাদের সাথে। আমার সাথে আছেন মাইকেল মোতাজদি, সিপিএ, যিনি আলাপ করছেন সেক ট্যাক্স ক্রেডিট 2024 এবং কীভাবে আপনারা এই বেনিফিট পেতে পারেন। Before went to break, I had 3 questions for you. How much can you get? How does it work? Are there any risk?
All right. So we'll talk about the last one at the
Okay,
end.
first. Okay, good.
How much you can get? Let's just say you make 26,000. Let's make easy numbers, right? Because you have to divide your net income on that Schedule C, right, over 260 days, right? The max you can get is $200 a day, but most people be like $100 a day, right? And you can do up to 70 days per year, right? Easy math. The most you could probably get on someone like that would be $14,000.
For that year.
But you know what? It's, as I was telling you, it's a very complicated procedure, and whatever you do in 2020 on this affects 21.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, that's what I'm saying. There's a
Naturally.
lot of stuff, and you gotta and it has certain months.
Carryover?
Well, it's like carryover, certain months where, hey, listen, I get 10 days here, I get 60 days here.
Right.
Right? And if you got money from other places, it's going to affect it. So what I'm saying to you is you got to know what you're doing. Let's just put it that way.
But the money from other places, as long as those are free
Well, some
money.
people got
but
like
how about the
snow-
loans?
No, yes,
That will not affect.
That's not really a
Right,
big impact.
right.
If you got PPP, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
PPA will not have any effect on it. SBA will not have. But if you are getting tons of free money from 10 different places,
Well, right. So you say you also have a W-2 job,
Right.
and listen, I'm getting like ERC and all that other stuff. That will affect you.
Right.
Okay, so it really matters what you got.
So you did touch on this, but I'm going to ask you again. How does it work exactly?
So basically what we're doing is we're saying, hey, listen, I got sick from here to here. I got sick from here to here, and I'm doing it twice.
Right.
Right, 2020, 2021, and I'm
Right.
amending those returns and I'm filing them.
And you must have a house, bought a house.
You don't have to.
You don't have to.
You don't have to. That was for people who would get the most.
Okay.
If you want that 32.
So if you, I'm learning because I'm also getting excited. So,
Why, did you
আপনারা-
buy a house?
No, I
right.
wish I did. I bought a house long time ago. Okay, but anyway, even if আমি প্রথমে বলেছিলাম যে যদি আপনি বাড়ি ক্রয় করে থাকেন 2000 সালে এবং 2021 সালে, no, not necessarily. Even if you did not buy a house 2020 and 2021, you can make 5,000, 7,000, 10,000, up to 14,000, depends. How? We don't have the entire day, আমাদের সারাদিন নেই এই ব্যাপার, বিস্তারিত জানতে হলে আমি সাজেস্ট করবো যিনি আছেন আমার সাথে যোগাযোগ করতে, অথবা কোয়ালিফাইড এনি সিপিএ you can talk to. So once again, you don't have to have a house, but if you do have a house, you bought a house in those 2 years, one of those 2 years, 2020, 2021, it maximizes your benefit.
Because you pushed the income up. That's
right.
the only
But
reason.
even if you did not,
No, then you can still do this.
You
This
still
this
make
is not
money.
going to stop
Okay.
you, right?
And
it's just those people have the greater chance of getting the maximum amount.
Mike, I think we are giving really good news to people. I mean, I feel like that, like after pandemic, we are giving something really substantial to the people. I don't know, most of our viewers are Muslim, and they're going to celebrate Eid in a few days, which is on April 10th. This is, would you consider that's like an Eid bonus?
Look, I would tell you this is the last free money out there, right? But we haven't talked about the risks.
Right.
And I've been saying this for months.
Okay.
Because look, this is not the first time this has come up. People have shown this to me, and am I nervous about it? Sure, I'm nervous about it because look, you have to have the documentation to back these up. They ask for specific dates.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
You have to actually put it on those forms.
Right.
Listen, I was sick from this date to this date, right? And they can ask for this documentation. And back when we were always able to do this, by the way. This is not new. All right? I did it a couple times in 2020 and 2021 for everybody.
Right.
But they always asked for information.
Okay, so I mean, we're gonna
Those
run
are
out
my
of time.
risks.
I mean, this is, I think next week, I think somewhere in April 12th, after the Eid, the Ramadan holidays and stuff, I think we're gonna have to follow up in a proper. It's not proper or improper, but more detailed way, so that we can walk people
Right.
out.
But the one thing we do want to point out is, look, we only have till April 15th. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. So if you want to do it, give my office a call, okay, and we'll get this done.
Okay, so April 15th is the deadline.
Yeah, that's the deadline.
So there's no extension for this.
No, if you want, then you'll lose 2020.
Oh, you lose 2020. Okay, so আপনারা যারা দেখছেন অনুষ্ঠানটি, আপনারা সবাই জানেন যে April 15 কিন্তু ট্যাক্স সিজনের নরমালি এন্ড। এটি যদি আপনারা অনেকে এক্সটেনশন নিয়ে থাকেন, however, in this case, এই প্রোগ্রামে যে প্রোগ্রামের কথা আমরা বলছি, যেখান থেকে আপনি বেশ কিছু অর্থ উপার্জন করতে পারেন IRS এর কাছ থেকে, if you extend, আপনি যদি এক্সটেন্ড করেন আপনার April 15 এর ডেডলাইন থেকে এক্সটেনশন নিয়ে থাকেন, আপনি 2020 সালে যে সুবিধাটা সেটি পাবেন না। সো আপনারা যারাই দেখছেন, প্লিজ file it, do it before April 15th. You want to say something?
Were you
Yes.
saying extensions?
Yes.
That doesn't count.
That doesn't count.
No.
No.
So the deadline is April 15th.
Okay.
Okay. Just take it for someone who did so much grants. Okay. That's the deadline. I'd rush to do this.
Okay. So if যারা দেখছেন, forget about the deadline. Deadline ভুলে যান. Just do it tomorrow.
Just do it, and listen, you come to me, I'll tell you all the risks, we'll walk
right.
you through it, and we'll make a decision together.
Right, perfect. We're almost out of time, but I want to touch on the buying a house in 2024. When will the Fed cut the rates? We've been hearing about these things for months.
They are literally just waiting for the inflation numbers. But for everyone who's about to file taxes and who hasn't, listen, if you're just thinking of buying a house, we need to put this on extension. You're going to see a whole different animal this year with houses.
Yeah.
So I wanted to point that out.
Yeah. So
time is running out.
This is something we'll touch on this on again on April when we talk about this one, buying a house this year,
right?
And why and how the game has changed.
The game's going to change, right? We see inflation numbers changing every single which way. They're definitely cutting the rates. Yeah. We just don't know how much. But the reason I'm bringing this up is, you got to. If you're going to buy a house, just throw your taxes on extension, okay? And then you'll be safe.
So, আপনার যদি ইচ্ছা থাকে যে আপনি এই বছর বাড়ি ক্রয় করবেন এবং আপনি এখনো ট্যাক্স ফাইল করেননি, make sure you take an extension. Because আমরা আশা করছি rate cutter, the interest rate cut. অনেকে বলছিলেন it's going to happen in March, এটা হয়নি. But অনেকে এখন বলছেন it's going to happen in July. So we will see, and if that happens, it
gives you the room, right? It's giving you that room. You know it's not going to happen before tax season, right? So if you put it on extension, you have till October. You can watch and see what happens, and if you don't do anything, you file your taxes.
Right.
But if you want to do something, you have the ability to maneuver.
Right. We're going to finish in a few minutes, but I just want to ask you one thing. Once the rate cut, the Federal Reserve starts cutting the rates, many people are saying, the economists and people who are keeping an eye on the markets and stuff, that this will not just be a single rate cut. It will be a multiple rate cut.
Just like it went up. Hikes, right?
Right.
Multiple cuts till they see the economy just moving this way.
Right. So many saying that, yes, it's not a linear line, just like cut like this. However, it will go up and down, but it's more down than up.
Right. It's definitely going to be more down. Are we going to get to the 4.5? Probably we'll get back there.
Okay. So if you were to guess, given what we know today, by September, some people are saying, hey, we'll be in 5.5. Do you think it will be too optimistic?
No, because right now we're at 5.875.
Yeah.
Right? I just closed a bunch of loans this month at that rates, right? We're already there, right? We should be basically right below 5. I would say right below 5, but again, we won't know how far it's going to go because we don't know how the economy is going to do.
Right.
We may run into a recession and it's going to be cut.
Right. So we have few things coming up. We have the new job reports coming up this month, right? And then we have the GDP report coming for the next quarter.
Right. This is going to be really dictated on one thing, inflation.
Right.
That's really that's how they're going to make this decision.
So we are looking at CPE and PCE data.
Correct.
Right? Because that tells us where we are in the inflation. Jerome Powell, I was listening last time he was up on the podium. He was saying that he can get down the inflation to under 2%, but he's not sure about the housing price. What does that mean? Can you explain?
Look, because most people
to
think,
me it sounds like the house price is not coming down.
See, that's the thing. I don't think that's true. I'll tell you why.
Good.
Real simple, right? Most people are not selling because they got this 2%, 3% interest rate, right? So nothing's on the market.
Of course.
Now they can maneuver. Now you can move. I want to buy this house. I don't want to live here anymore.
Right.
So now more stuff's going to come on the market. I honestly think the house prices can go like this, straight.
Sidewise, not down.
Yeah, I don't.
Okay, so it's not coming down.
Everyone thinks it's just going to explode. No, it's not going to explode. Because there's more stuff, more inventory.
Right. So it would have exploded if we did not have inventory added up.
If we didn't have so little inventory right now, because nobody wants to sell their houses because they have an amazing interest rate.
Right.
But now they can sell, they can move, they can maneuver, they can live their lives and move. Right.
A bit. And we are hearing that slowly but surely some inventories are adding up.
Right. But I'm saying
not significant amount.
But if you look in the New York market, yes, I think there's going to be a lot of houses going on the market once we are below 5.
Right. So we are towards the end. If you were to give any advice to people, first to take care of those tax credit 2024, what would you say?
I would say, hey, listen, just give me a call at my office, okay? And I want everyone to understand what the risks are, what the reward is, okay? I want to make an educated decision on this stuff, okay? And obviously the BOI stuff, give us a call. We can take care of that for you.
আর আজকের অনুষ্ঠানটি যারা দেখছেন আমি মনে করি তথ্যবহুল ছিল, অনেক খুব গুরুত্বপূর্ণ কিছু জিনিস তথ্য আপনাদের সাথে তুলে ধরেছি। সেই সাথে তুলে ধরেছি যে আপনি কীভাবে এর বেনিফিট নিতে পারেন। দেয়ার ইজ মানি ওয়েটিং ফর ইউ, অ্যান্ড আপনাকে সঠিক সিদ্ধান্ত নিতে হবে, সঠিক জায়গায় যেতে হবে, অ্যান্ড ইউ হ্যাভ টু ডু দ্য রাইট থিং নাও। আপনি এপ্রিল 15 তারিখ পর্যন্ত অপেক্ষা করতে পারেন না যারা এই সুযোগটি নিতে চান। এটি একটি ব্যাপার। দ্বিতীয় ব্যাপার হচ্ছে বিওআইয়ের ক্ষেত্রে ইউ হ্যাভ অনলি 2 days। যারা নতুন বিজনেস ওপেন করেছেন আপনার আছে 2টি দিন সময়। এরপর থেকে আপনার বিজনেসের জন্য জরিমানা করা হবে প্রতিদিন $500 করে। সো আশা করি উই গেভ ইউ আ হোল লট অফ ইনফরমেশন। কিন্তু মনে রাখবেন এটি সম্পূর্ণ ইনফরমেশন নয়। আগামী সপ্তাহ অর্থাৎ এপ্রিলের 12 তারিখের দিকে আবার আমি হাজির হব। মাইকেল মোচাজিদি আমার সাথে থাকবেন। উইল ব্রেক ডাউন মেনি অফ দ্য ইনফরমেশন দ্যাট উই ডিসকাস টুডে, অ্যান্ড আই এম শিওর ইউ উইল হ্যাভ মেনি কোয়েশ্চেন্স। কিন্তু মনে রাখবেন April 12 when we come to you, you have 2 days left for filing deadline. So that would be a very crucial time. আমরা আপনাকে যখন বলবো সেই কথাটি। Mike, I have to say goodbye to you.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Anytime. Thank you for helping us with and our audience too with this amazing news and stuff. দর্শক আপনাদের কাছ থেকে বিদায় নিতে হচ্ছেন। যে যেখানে থাকবেন সুস্থ থাকবেন, নিরাপদে থাকবেন। শুভরাত্রি।
TBN 24 টেলিভিশন দেখতে আজই কল করুন 7187776556। লগ ইন করুন www.totalcablebd.com।
নিউ ইয়র্ক থেকে সম্প্রচারিত TBN 24 টেলিভিশন বিশ্বজুড়ে বাঙালির কণ্ঠস্বর।